Hello, in this video we are going to be discussing exaltation and debilitation of planets. What is exalted and what is debilitated? Now, a planet is extremely happy or it is in a very happy condition when it is exalted, and the opposite is for debilitated. If a planet is debilitated, then he is in a very unhappy condition. So what happens when a planet is happy and when a planet is unhappy? Well, if a planet is in a very happy condition and that happens when it is exalted, it gives a positive result related to its signification. Say, for example, the signification of Jupiter. One of the significations of Jupiter is knowledge. So if Jupiter is exalted in somebody's chart, it will give a positive result related to the acquisition of knowledge by that person. Also, if a planet is exalted, it will give a positive effect related to the house it is sitting in. And thirdly, if a planet is exalted, it will give a positive effect to the houses or the planets it is aspecting. Every planet has an aspect, and we will have a separate video for that. But for now, we'll just understand that any aspect by an exalted planet is going to give a positive effect to that house or planet. And what happens if a planet is debilitated? Well, it is right the opposite of exaltation. So when a planet is debilitated, it will give negative results related to its signification. So just like we gave an example of Jupiter, for an exalted Jupiter, if we consider Jupiter to be in a debilitated sign, or if it is in an unhappy situation, it will give a negative result related to its signification. And like we discussed, one of the signification of Jupiter is knowledge. So that person will have a great deal of struggle to acquire knowledge. Also, the planet which is debilitated will have a negative effect on the house in which it is sitting. And thirdly, just right opposite to what happens when a planet is exalted, a debilitated planet, when it aspects a house or a planet, it will give a negative result related to that house, or it will afflict that planet which it's aspecting. So exaltation, planets are happy, they give positive results. Debilitation, planets are unhappy and they give negative results. Now, when do the planets get exalted or debilitated? The ancient scriptures have described that sun gets exalted in Aries up to 10 degrees, and it gets debilitated in Libra up to 10 degrees. Now the debilitation sign is right the opposite, or the seventh from where it gets exalted. So if sun gets exalted in Aries up to 10 degrees, it will get debilitated in Libra, which is the seventh sign from Aries up to 10 degrees. So if you look at a chart, Aries is right opposite to Libra. It's 180 degrees. So sun will get exalted in Aries up to 10 degrees and will get debilitated in the seventh sign from Aries up to 10 degrees. Now, when we say up to 10 degrees, and we know that a zodiac sign is for 30 degrees, the ancient scriptures have described that the exaltation effects take effect or are felt only up till the degrees which have been mentioned in the scriptures. So Sun will get exalted in Aries up till 10 degrees, but will not be exalted if it is sitting, say for example, beyond 10 degrees, somewhere around 11, 12, 13, through 30 degrees. However, in a real life situations, astrologers have discovered that that may not be true. They may agree that Sun gives maximum exaltation effects up till 10 degrees. However, the exaltation effects will be felt beyond 10 degrees in that same zodiac sign as well. So there's a slight disagreement here. Some astrologers just stick to the basic principles. However, a lot of research has been done on this, and astrologers have discovered that yes, the exaltation effects are going to be felt throughout the entire zodiac sign. However, the effects may not be that strong. So I just want to make this clear to everyone that yes, although the scriptures have described up till a certain degree, in the real life that may not be the case. The case may be that in a particular zodiac sign, throughout the entire zodiac sign, the planets may get exalted or get debilitated in the seventh house to it. However, we are going to discuss just what the scriptures have described today as far as the degrees are concerned. And then when we read a chart, we can just consider the entire zodiac sign and keep in mind that up till that degrees, the exaltation or debilitation effects are felt more strongly. However, the exaltation and debilitation sign, or the exaltation and debilitation effects, will be felt throughout the entire zodiac signs. So the ancient scriptures have described Sun gets debilitated in Libra, which is exactly 7th from Aries, where it gets exalted up till 10 degrees. The Moon gets exalted up till 3 degrees in Taurus and gets debilitated up to 3 degrees in Scorpio, which is the 7th sign from Taurus. Mars gets exalted up till 28 degrees in Capricorn and gets debilitated up to 28 degrees in Cancer, which is the 7th sign from Capricorn. Mercury gets exalted up to 15 degrees in Virgo, and Mercury gets debilitated in Pisces up to 15 degrees, and Pisces, as we know, is the 7th sign from Virgo. Jupiter gets exalted in Cancer up to 5 degrees and gets debilitated in the 7th sign from Cancer, which is Capricorn, up to 5 degrees. Venus gets exalted in Pisces up to 27 degrees and gets debilitated in the 7th sign from Pisces in Virgo up to 27 degrees. Saturn gets exalted in Libra up to 20 degrees, and Saturn gets debilitated in Aries, which is the 7th sign from Libra, up to 20 degrees. So that describes the 7 planets: Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, as far as their exaltation and debilitation points are concerned. Now we will be talking about Rahu and Ketu. Rahu and Ketu, who are shadow planets, also have their exaltation and debilitation points. And the great sage Parashara has described the exaltation sign of Rahu in Taurus and the debilitation sign of Ketu. And the debilitation sign of Rahu in Scorpio. Similarly, the sage Parashara has described the exaltation sign of Ketu in Scorpio and the debilitation sign of Ketu in Taurus. Right, the opposite of what you see in Rahu. Rahu is exalted in Taurus, debilitated in Scorpio. Ketu is exalted in Scorpio and debilitated in Taurus. However, there may be a slight disagreement here because some sages have described Rahu getting exalted in Gemini and not in Taurus, and Rahu getting debilitated in Sagittarius and not in Scorpio. Similarly, those sages have described Ketu getting exalted in Sagittarius and not Scorpio, and Ketu getting debilitated in Gemini and not in Taurus. This is a slight disagreement, and it is for us to determine based on our readings in charts as to what would be the exaltation signs for Rahu and Ketu as we start doing the readings of charts and start to get to see the results, what these planets, Rahu and Ketu, are providing in an individual's chart. But in any case, Rahu also expresses itself very strongly in Gemini, just as it expresses itself in Taurus. So the exaltation effects have been felt in both these signs as expressed by certain good astrologers. Similarly, Ketu also feels very comfortable in both the signs of Scorpio and Sagittarius, and the exaltation effects of Ketu have been felt in both these signs as per certain astrologers who have done research on this subject. Friends, this ends our video on the exaltation and debilitation of planets, and we will be taking up another topic in our coming videos.